We are right in the middle of the holiday season. A few weeks ago, we had Thanksgiving, and now the countdown to Christmas begins. It is far too common that childcare providers do not get paid for holidays and vacations, and that needs to come to an end. This video was actually inspired by the recent change made to the childcare assistance program in New York State, but this rule should be standard across the board for the childcare industry, and in many other states, it's something that already existed, but in others, probably not. So let me start off by explaining what the change was. If you don't already know what the childcare assistance program is in the state of New York, it is pretty much a subsidy is another way that you could look at it. It's when parents reach out to their local county looking for assistance with the cost of childcare, and depending on their eligibility requirements and their eligibility calculations, they can possibly qualify for assistance where the county will pay you directly as the provider most, or in some cases all, of the cost of the tuition. Now, that program is nothing new. It's been around for decades, but what is new, at least in our county where my childcare centers are located, is the fact that now they pay for holidays and program closures up to 20 per year. You might be thinking to yourself, if you're in a fortunate situation where you're in a state or county that already did that, well, duh, you know? And that should be the reaction, because everybody deserves a break. Everybody deserves the right to have a cultural relaxation based on their religion, or just because they need a break. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case for a very long time in the county where my programs are located. And now we have that option. If we want to close, our county will still pay us for the subsidized children that are enrolled in the childcare assistance program. There's a whole lot of stipulations to it though, of course, but it is still a big step in the right direction and something that's going to help our bottom line in general. But as a company, for our private pay families, we have always charged, or let me not say always, because it did take me a few years to realize that we should be doing this. But as a company, we have a general policy for our private pay families that tuition is based on enrollment and not attendance. Say it with me now. Tuition is based on enrollment, not attendance. That is a hard concept that a lot of families tend to struggle with understanding, and a lot of providers struggle with communicating. So whether a child is absent due to vacation, their vacation, our program being closed, sickness, if they are going away for whatever reason, if they go in the doctor, whatever the reason, if a child is not in the program or if the program is closed, tuition is still due in full because your spot is being secured. It's not about paying per day or per hour, which is something that is an option. You could run a daily drop-in program, which is a different type of childcare that we do not offer. We want to have consistency throughout our service, so we want to make sure that we expect the kids that are coming in, and it's not random schedules or teachers having to adjust too much every single day. So for that reason, in order to make sure that we are prepared on a daily basis for all the kids that we expect, we need to make sure that we have the same resources and the same staffing every single day. If you want consistency in the quality of care that you receive, you need to be consistent with the tuition that you pay. So this is something that you need to communicate with families upon enrollment. It's something that should be written into your policy. And unfortunately, for a long time, even though that was our policy, even though that's what our private pay families were doing, the state was not doing that for us, or our county specifically was not doing that for us, and there's nothing we could do about it. So now that policy on a statewide level has changed, and there has been a mandate for all counties to provide up to 20 days of paid vacation or program closures for religious or cultural observations or something like that. That is a huge relief. So that actually sparked me to make a video to encourage you guys, if it might be too late for this holiday season, to try to get families to pay you if it wasn't something that you gave them notice about in advance. But in thinking about planning for the new year, it's about to be 2024. Maybe you don't feel comfortable changing your policy in January, which would technically be in the middle of the school year, but you can prepare for the summer season or for the following fall school year so that you can redo your policy, your handbook, send out notices in advance, make a list of all your program closures, and make sure that families sign an agreement saying that they received notice of the closures and they've received notice that tuition is based on enrollment and not attendance, if that's what you want to do. If you wanted to do a daily drop-in program, that is different, and of course you would likely not get paid for your holidays or program closures. But if you run the type of program that is consistent every day, you should really consider doing this if you're not already doing so. I know that it's easy to get in your head if you feel like you don't have the confidence to demand your worth, or your program's worth, I should say. And it's really easy to just let a lot of things slide with what you think parents expect. However, as long as you communicate things in writing and in advance, I promise you, you're not going to see a whole bunch of families leaving or being upset about it. As long as you make your policies clear from beginning or as soon as you possibly can, it will be easy to run your program the way that you want to run it and not the way that you think the parents want it to run. As a childcare business consultant, I often recommend that my clients use digital tools in order to manage the efficiency within their business. So one thing that we use is an electronic signature website that allows us to send out registration forms and notices to parents' emails, and then the parents sign off on it online on their mobile device or on their computer or iPad or anything like that. And they'll read through, sign, and as soon as they sign and hit submit, we get a copy of what they signed and they get a copy too. I'm sure you're familiar with electronic signature websites. You've probably signed off on things electronically yourself by this point, as it is about to be 2024. But just in case you aren't aware, you can Google the plethora of options of e-sign websites that you could create an account for and start uploading your documents and notices and incorporate that into your operations and systems. Here's an example of what I call our calendar of closings. We send this out every new school year and with every new registration packet so parents can see from the start of the year until the end exactly what days will be closed and the reason. And at the bottom, again, it emphasizes, and this is in many places within our documents, but it emphasizes that we have a policy where tuition is based on enrollment and not attendance. And that is on this calendar of closings. It's also in our parent handbook. It's also in the parent handbook acknowledgement letter that families need to sign off on. It is everywhere. But you deserve to be paid for those holidays. You deserve to be paid for those vacations and those breaks that you take. You can try to be fair and work something out if you feel more comfortable in that. I am in a Facebook group with hundreds of other childcare providers. I will actually link the Facebook group that I run myself in the description below. But you could also just search Childcare Clubhouse in the groups section of Facebook and go ahead and request to join that group. However, I've seen a lot of people mention their holidays and vacations and closing agreements with families, and something I've seen that is interesting is someone said that they don't charge families the full price for when their kids are absent, but if they let them know in advance that they will be out, they charge them half price, which I think is a somewhat of a fair agreement. But you have to do what works best for you. You have to do what is going to make sense for your program and your budget. So please keep that in mind with whatever policies you do create. Stay consistent and stick to them and be firm in them, and go ahead and enjoy your break. If you ever need help with creating policies or trying to just structure your best business practices in general, you can always reach out to book me for a consultation by going to childcaresites.com/DaniChristine, and I would absolutely be happy to help you. And as a matter of fact, I currently still have my Cyber Monday deal going on until midnight December 5th. So at 11:59 p.m. on December 4th, Eastern Time, 2023, at 11:59 p.m., December 4th, 2023, this deal will expire, but you could use code CYBER23 at checkout when you're booking a consultation, and that will help you to save 23% on the consultation fee. Let me know what your child absence, holidays, and program closure policies are in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button to encourage me to make more videos like this. And while you're down there, you might as well hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be aware immediately as soon as I do make my next video. I do hope that you enjoy this holiday season, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.